All right, Michael, great to see you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me, John.
Well, I first want to focus on the issue of Michael Cohen. He's now sued the Trump organization for not paying his legal fees. And he also, before Congress said that he had never sought or would he accept a pardon, but we're hearing that might be different. What else can you tell us about some of the other folks who may have sought a pardon from President Trump?
Well, I'm not real privy to these pardon discussions, and I know that that's a perilous discussion to have, and it really gets the left lit up, because and we saw some of this kind of discussions listed in the impeachment proceedings for Richard Nixon. So it's kind of perilous. In fact, I even though I have my own feelings about who should be pardoned and who should not, I consider it kind of a sacrosanct duty of the President of the United States. And I know that Manafort's going to be sentenced today. I've known him for 30 years. I feel awful for him and his family. I know there's a chance that he'll get some leniency because of his age, especially today from the judge who earlier, as you know, had said that had kind of criticized the Mueller investigation for going after him just to get to the president. Maybe we won't see such a huge hit on him today. But I hate to see one of my oldest friends going to jail. It's an awful thing. And I do hope the president looks at this.
Well, you're wrapped up in this, of course. You're one of the 81 people mentioned in the list of subpoenas and document requests from Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. I understand you're not going to comply with that request?
Well, no, actually, it's gotten a little, there are a few clickbaity headlines out there today, but my attorney complied immediately. We complied within 24 hours. Our answer was, I have none of the documents that you requested. They asked me about things that I was nowhere near and I have no idea about. So he said, we don't have any documents. And in a discussion with a senior staffer at the committee, the senior staffer said, okay, well, Mr. Vacco, my attorney, Dennis Vacco, will you present Mr. Caputo for an interview with the committee? And my attorney, who was New York State Attorney General, he's no new guy, he said, are you kidding me? He doesn't have any of the documents. He's a marginal player in all of this. He's testified twice before Congress and once before Robert Mueller, and you want him to come in again? And they said, well, we may, and if we would like him to do it voluntarily. And my attorney said, I'm not going to agree to that.
Right. And it's also, Michael, it's redundant, too, because any of those documents, Robert Mueller would already have those same documents. Congress could simply wait for the report and all this information to be released after the fact, even some of the stuff that wouldn't be released because these people have the ability to see that. It just seems redundant and unnecessary.
Well, for the House Intelligence Committee, I presented a boatload of documents, and I know many of the people on that list did as well. Just the photocopy charges for the thousands of pages some of these people have. I don't know if you saw Don Jr.'s request for documentation, but it was like 6 pages long. And, I only had 3 short paragraphs. I had none of those documents. But the one thing that really struck me, John, is as someone who's kind of marginal on this, who didn't have any of the documents that they wanted, they still want me to come before the committee, which means they want all 81 of those people to come before the committee. Right. This is going to be a long, long summer. And if somebody's got to stand up and
well, it's clear that Democrats are making a choice to focus on this as opposed to focusing on actual legislation and doing stuff that this country needs, infrastructure, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, dealing with the opioid epidemic. This is their clear strategy or political strategy. And, we'll see what the voters say in 2020. But we're in the middle of 2020. That's clear by this tack that the Democrats are taking. Now, John Brennan said yesterday that he expects more indictments to come down as soon as this Friday. Any indication, what your gut is telling you that who Mueller might be targeting, or if we could see more indictments?
I don't know. It looks to me like they're near done. I mean, John Brennan, his predictions have been worth, the paper they're written on, and the guy spent so much time lying before the Congress. I don't believe a word John Brennan says, and now that he doesn't have a security clearance, thank God, I don't think he has access to much information. John Brennan is out there now as a news commentator. I've never seen someone at the senior levels of our intelligence apparatus
Come
out of their federal service and go work for a television station.
Well, it's the new reality we live in. I mean, these guys, and there's networks that are willing to pay them and to commentate as opposed to actually give analysis or facts. That used to be the old school model. I don't know. Michael, I know, you've been dragged into this. It seems like, despite your involvement with the special counsel's investigation, Congress is now insisting on dragging this out. Talk to us about what you've faced in terms of, legal hurdles and costs from defending yourself.
Well, it's interesting because it's not just me. It's probably all of these 81, but certainly a big section of them. I've talked to dozens of them. They've all endured, deep costs on the legal fees alone, but also the compliance issues, like, what it costs to get there, to sit before the Congress, to photocopy all the documents. It is a deep, deep hole that they dig into your finances. I've had over $200,000 worth of legal fees. You can't lawyer up with your divorce attorney or, your brother-in-law. You got to bring in somebody, even if you're a witness. I'm only a witness. I've never been a target or a subject of these investigations. I'm only a witness.
Right. I want to make that perfectly clear. You're not accused of doing anything wrong, but you have to participate, and you want to bring a lawyer because, we've seen they'll catch you in one of these process crimes. You say anything that doesn't match up exactly with what you said the last time around, they'll charge you with lying to these investigators.
Or if somebody else said something that doesn't match up with what you said, they'll charge you with a process crime, with a perjury trap, And that's the real thing. You have to be protected. I have a great attorney, former New York State Attorney General Dennis Vacco. He's a pipe swinger. He doesn't let anybody, get over on me. The people in the Mueller investigation really respected him because he was a former U.S. attorney, and he respected them, knew how to work the system of these investigations. But in the end, you got to pay for that.
Right. If you get what you pay for with these guys. I want to give you a chance to mention your GoFundMe account. I mean, indirectly, we're all contributing to Robert Mueller's GoFundMe account, these congressional investigations through our tax dollars, if we want to or not. But, guys like you are still having to pay a lot of money in legal fees just to be a witness. What's your GoFundMe account?
It's Caputo Family Legal Fund on GoFundMe. Caputo Family Legal Fund. And, some friends of mine who were also on this list, we did some math yesterday. If everybody has to go in and we all have to pay $20,000, $30,000 each to go in, we're talking about well over $1 million in legal fees coming out of people's pockets. It's going to be terribly expensive.
I hate it for you guys. I mean, this is just a protracted investigation. It needs to come to an end. Michael Caputo, thanks for your time.
Thanks, John.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for breaking news and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, then share it with your friends. Remember, you can watch Newsmax TV live on YouTube. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.